thing is, if you can
Ask
have it,
them what's better.
you can attach it to this thing. Trying to figure out where to attach our camera. We're gonna try this side, you know, getting tired of looking the other way. We'll try a different way. See if it's a better class or not.
Look at shadows.
Turn on the other lights. You got them all on?
Yeah. It's a different lighting.
Haribol Mahadana.
Haribol. How are you?
Oh, let's just say, oh, fine, thank you. Oh, Devi Priya, how are you? Are you another one who puts on the? Yes, we can. It's already time.
We start with the prayers.
Okay.
Om Madhyana
Vedangastya Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Deva Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shra Shri Rupam Sahajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunatam Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Prakute Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sita Devi Pranamami Priye Manchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nivasesha Sunyavari Paschachade Swatarane Shri Ruchi Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raghunath Sadgoswami Kuduki Jai Shri Shikshastaka Chaitodarpanam Arjunam Bhavamahadavagi Narapanam Shreyaikara Chandrika Vitarnam Dijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buripardhanam Patipadam Purnam Itaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust that is accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Nam Nam Makari Bahudani Sarva Saktis Chacharpitani amata smarni nakala. Etadrishi tavakripa bhagavan mamapi. Jardhaiva midrishani hajanina naragaha. Would someone else like to read the English? Can you scroll it up?
Mataji, which one is which
Oh, my Lord, your holy,
verse?
the second one.
Oh, okay. I don't see it. It's way on the bottom. I don't see it on my screen.
Yeah, I
I
asked him
only
to,
see one line.
the host has to scroll it. Thank you.
Okay. Now it's too high. Okay. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and thousands, or hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Arapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamaye mama jamani jamani shware bhavatar bhaktira haitaki twai.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
Ainanda tununja kinkaram patitam ambishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja stita duli sadirsham rachintaya.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Nayanam galadashu dharaya karanam gadgara rudaya gira ulakir nichitam bapukara tavanama grahane bhavishyati.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
Jagayatam namishena chakshusha pravishayatam shunyayatam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name.
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like a 12 years or more.
Oh,
Tears are falling from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
Ashli Shava Parvatam Panastumam Madharshanam Mamahatam Kurotuva Yata Tatava Vidhatulam Pato Maprananatastu Saevana Paraha.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
Shri Shikshastaka Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya. Husband's on the phone. So it's been a couple weeks. We left off in chapter 6, I believe. Anybody remember what we were talking about? The name of the chapter is His Forms Are One and the Same. And we were talking about the Swayam Rupa, Ekatma Rupa, Avesha Rupa, Tarikatma Rupa, all these complicated technical things, but the title says it all. His forms are one and the same. Sorry, last one. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Satya Nitya. There's one Supreme Lord, but many manifestations. So we left off the last paragraph. There are also forms of Krishna.
Okay. Take over for me, huh?
Not
Last
exactly.
paragraph, what page? I have the page, no?
6, chapter 6, 81.
81. We're okay. Okay, so I'm just going to start reading and see how it goes. And I will be asking questions, so don't just keep your monitors on without any video and go away, because we're going to know. There are also forms of Krishna that are a little different from his original form. And these are called Tad Ekatma Rupa forms. These may be further divided into the Vilas and the Svamsha forms. I should have Jiva reading this, she's more technical. Forms which in turn have many different features and can be divided into Prabhava and Vaibhava forms. As far as the Vilas forms are concerned, there are innumerable Prabhava Vilas headed by Krishna's expansions as Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Sometimes the Lord thinks of himself as a cowherd boy, and sometimes he thinks of himself as Vasudev's son, a Kshatriya prince. And this thinking, in brackets, of Krishna is called his pastimes. That's in brackets too, or quotes or whatever. Quotes?
Yeah.
It's in quotes. Actually, he is in the same form in his Vaibhava Prakash and Prabhava Vilas, but he appears differently as Krishna and Balaram. His expansions as Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha are the original Chatuvyuha, or four-armed forms. Just read here. You know what that means?
No. There are innumerable four-armed manifestations in different planets and different places. For instance, they are manifested in Dwarka and Mathura eternally. From the four original four-handed forms are manifested the 24 principal four-armed forms, which are called Vaibhava Vilas. They are named differently according to the placement of the conch, club, lotus, and disc in their hands. The same four principal manifestations of Krishna are found on each planet in the spiritual sky.
Jiva likes to block herself.
Whatever. You like to see the book better.
I don't know what you're reading.
Well, the different forms are named according to the positions of
The forms of
weapons.
Vishnu. Yeah, that I know.
That's what we just read.
Yeah, with the different chakra and the conch and flower and disc. Yeah, different, wherever you can look at them and you know who it is. That means there's
What
only.
chakra is it? But then he says there's unlimited forms of Vishnu, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm sorry, there's something like 20 something, isn't it?
I believe those.
But if you do 4 times 4, it's.
The same four principal manifestations of Krishna are found on each planet in the spiritual sky, known as Narayan Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. In Vaikuntha Loka, Krishna is manifested in the four-handed form of Narayan. From each Narayan are manifested the forms of Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Thus, Narayan is the center, and the four forms of Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha surround the Narayan form. Each of these four forms again expand into three, and these all have different names, beginning with Keshava. These forms are 12 in all, and again, they are known by different names according to the placement of the symbols in their hands. As far as the Vasudeva form is concerned, the three expansions manifested from him are Keshava, Narayan, and Madhava. The three forms expanded from Sankarshan are known as Govinda, Vishnu, and Sri Madhusudan. It should be noted that this Govinda is not the same Govinda manifested in Vrindavan as the son of Nanda Maharaj. Similarly, from Pradyumna expand the three forms known as Trivikram, Vamana, and Sridhar. And the three forms expanded from Aniruddha are Rishikesh, Padmanabha, and Damodar.
So these forms, known as Trivikram, Vamana, and isn't Trivikram and Vamana the same?
Yeah, I mean, as far as that incarnation is called, or maybe the Vishnu forms are different.
Okay,
That's the end of the chapter.
anyone have any questions?
Mataji, the volume is low. I don't hear you too well.
Just
Can you increase the
Well, you know, if you really want to remember all this, all you have to remember for those who are.
Wait, can you hear her?
Can you hear me?
Can
Anybody?
anyone?
Yes,
I'm able to
Pietro, we
hear,
can hear you.
but it's not very good, Mataji. Like every time it's much better. I don't know what's something is wrong today. It seems.
Well, we moved this
Yeah.
down. I don't know if that matters.
Sometimes you sound loud and then sometimes you sound soft.
Okay.
You think moving this a different position?
That maybe for those of you who are pujaris or put on full tilak, these names may all sound familiar. If you listen to the order
Any
here.
better now, sound-wise?
Yeah, much better.
Really?
I can hear Ganpati going the loud and clear, but I hear you a little less.
I just moved my lips without speaking.
As I was saying, for those of you who put on full tilak and do the full achman, perhaps these names sound a little familiar in the order they are. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha,
Bingo.
Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha, Om Trivikramaya Namaha, Om Vamanaya Namaha, Om Sridharaya Namaha, Om Rishikeshaya Namaha. It's not there.
You don't see
It
it.
ended.
And Om Padmanabhaya,
Padmanabhaya Namaha, Om Damodaraya
Om Damodaraya. Then there is one more which is Om Vasudevaya, which is under. Yeah, right.
Your speaking is very loud.
Yeah, we don't always do this one. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Also, you do Achman and the names of the months is the same. So we might not, a lot of this might not sink in, but like what we were saying before, it is purifying to hear and say these names. You know, this is chanting also. Just saying that, you know, we sanctify our existence, you know, just by saying these names when we're putting on tilak, saying these names when we're reading, you know, we actually invoke the presence of the Lord when we recite his names.
But even if it wasn't just the names, just reading this is purifying.
Mhm.
This sound vibration is transcendental. I was in Vrindavan, and at noontime, Srila Prabhupada would give class in the temple rooms, a little different area, I think in the back. And they gave class in Hindi. And when he gave class, we'd stay for a little bit and then we'd leave because we didn't know anything he's saying. You know, and then it was told, Prabhupada asked, why are devotees leaving? And they said, because they don't speak Hindi, they don't understand Hindi. And he says, so what? It's still purifying. Just hearing it is purifying. So even if you don't understand the language and you hear it, it's purifying. So, you know, so hearing it, even without understanding it, we understand some of it because it's in English. But then we may not understand exactly all of these things, but it's still, we get purified by reading it.
For me, it's a little like, it reminds me of the universal form of the Lord. It's just so like overwhelming and vast and hard to grasp, but it helps you to appreciate the opulence of the Supreme, the grandeur of the Lord. You know, it's like the universal form is just, it's overwhelming.
And that's more or less a material form.
And this is
And
spiritual.
This is spiritual, so it's really unlimited. Any one of the forms is unlimited.
Maji, in Sri Rangam, there's an altar for almost all of these names, you know, separate altar. It's very nice to see.
With the form of Vishnu?
Yeah, there's a separate altar for Vasudeva, Damodara. Then, yeah, it says Vasudeva Krishna. He has a 4-arm form.
Wow.
Where's that?
Sri Rangam.
Oh, yeah, I know it's. Okay, so anyone have any questions?
Comments?
Or anything else?
I just wanted to add a comment about applying the tilak when you were saying that just reading the names is purifying. I also read somewhere, I can't remember now, that when we put the tilak on by reciting the proper names of the Lord, it has the same potency as reading the Narayan Kavach. We are actually putting Narayan Kavach on us. So
Well, it's certainly given protection, all these different areas. Also, Prabhupada said, when you're putting on tilak, if you don't chant the mantras, you just put it on. He said it's like putting on war paint. The American Indians, they put on war paint.
yeah, that's interesting.
So
I used to put wall paint earlier.
what?
He used to put war paint.
Did you get in many fights?
No.
Okay, so now we read all about all these different incarnations. So the next chapter, 7, is entitled Unlimited Forms of Godhead.
Kind of tells us where we're heading.
In case you didn't get enough of all the different forms, we have now unlimited forms of Godhead. According to the Vaishnava Almanac, the 12 months of the year are named according to the 12 Vaikuntha forms of Lord Krishna. And these forms, this is another interesting thing I should, if they tell you the names, I'll say it. And these forms are known as the predominating deities of the 12 months, okay? So they're all Vishnu forms, the predominating deities of the 12 months. This calendar begins with the month of Margashirsha, which is equivalent to late November and early December. The Vaishnavas call this month, anybody know?
Karti?
No, Keshava. Good try. December, January is called Narayana. January, February, Madhava. February, March.
Govinda.
Govinda, very good. How about March, April?
Vishnu.
Are you reading these or you know it?
Prabhu, I'm just going through the tilak.
the same. I just said that.
Oh, okay. April, May, Sri Madhusudana, May, June,
Tiruvikrama,
June, July,
Vamana,
July, August,
Sridhara,
August, September,
Rishikesha,
September, October,
Padmanabha,
and October, November.
Damodara.
Yes, this Damodar is different from the Damodar in Braj. Okay, so we know because this is the four-handed or four-armed Vishnu form, Damodar. And there's also a Govinda, Vishnu form, Govinda. The name Damodar was given to Krishna when he was bound with ropes by his mother. But the Damodar form, who is the predominating deity of the month of October, November, is a different manifestation. Everybody understand that?
No.
Okay. There's the month of Damodar. That's a four-armed form. That's not the Damodar, two-armed Krishna who was bound by his mother.
Who we just so happen are recommended to meditate on during that month.
During that month, the Vaishnavas took advantage of the name Damodar. They don't think of the four-armed Damodar. They think of, Krishna with two arms who was bound by Mother Yashoda. But that month has really nothing to do with the Damodar or Krishna.
But it's like Mahadana said, Kartik. It's during Kartik that we are recommended to meditate on the form of Damodar as a child, Krishna's babyhood pastimes.
Any questions? Other comments? Okay, read the next paragraph. Just as the months of the year are known according to the 12 different names of the Supreme Lord, members of the Vaishnava community mark 12 parts of the body according to these names. For instance, the tilak mark on the forehead is called
Keshava,
Keshava, and on the stomach,
Narayana,
chest, and arms and other names are also given. So it doesn't give everyone here, but you should know them. And if you don't know them, we can help you. Malati Priya can help you.
It's nice to apply these to the body, to sanctify the body, purify the body. If you can't do it with tilak, you can do it with water. And this way you'll remember all the months and you'll remember the 12 Vishnu forms that we're talking about here.
We used to
and
do
like the Tilak mantra also, Mataji. Lala teke shvamdhyaye narayana madodare vakshistale madhavam tu govintam kantakupuke.
Vishnu Chakshane Duksha, Mahatam Sudana, Trivikram Kandavetu.
Mama pashtake shridram vama bhavatu rishikesham chakandare.
We used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you're making
When you're
your
mixing
tilak.
your tilak.
You're supposed to say that while you're mixing.
So how many
Tilak
people
with
mix
water.
their tilak in their palm?
I don't. I put it in the box itself. I put water in the box and mix it right in the box.
This,
Anyway, you should chant that mantra when you're mixing your tilak, no matter where you're mixing your tilak. So many mantras. I don't know how many people chant a mantra when they take Charnamrita. Anyone?
I do.
I do.
I do.
So we
You
got
know that mantra?
Yeah. Akal mrityu harnam sarva vyadhi vinashanam.
Krishna, Kampi,
Vishnu.
Namya.
No, but
Anyway, it's good, people. I mean, we I don't know how many years ago we found it somewhere and then we put it up by the tilak.
Yeah.
Is that where people got it from, or they get it from somewhere else?
I got it from there. I was not aware before. Like when I started coming to the East Hartford temple, that's when I got it. Yeah.
Did anyone get it from
We should-
anywhere else?
We should put a mantra everywhere. You know?
Yeah, let's all
Do
put
this,
mantras.
use mantra, this, the mantra. That way we'll learn all the mantras.
Anyway,
Prabhu,
what?
This is Omio. I have a question about the mantra for the Charnamrita. Ganpati Prabhu just said, Pakala Mittu Haranang. So my question is, I mean, why should he even pray for that thing? Like, untimely death. Should we leave it up to Krishna, right?
We are, but we're just stating the fact. By reciting the mantra, you're not necessarily praying for that. I mean, I guess you could be, but you could also be stating the fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Right, by taking the Charnamrita, that's what happened. When we chant the Tulsi Puja, it says by circumambulating Tulsi, you can become free from all sins. That's a fact. It's not saying I'm circumambulating Tulsi so that I become free from all sins. We're just telling the facts.
That's what we do around.
But some people still die untimely, even after the
Charnamrita.
I'm sorry, Prabhu?
No, it's
inside joke.
the facts, nothing but the facts.
No, I'm saying like some people still die untimely, even after taking Charnamrita.
Somebody has their mic on?
Are you outside?
Yes, Mataji, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Can
okay. Just could hear the wind
Oh, okay.
or something.
Did you hear what I said, or I should repeat?
Say it again.
Someone
Okay.
might still die untimely.
Yeah, still even after taking Charnamrita.
Prabhu, I have full faith that they won't die untimely. Sometimes they say in Purushottam Dham, Jagannath, if you see Jagannath, you will get liberation. That's a fact, actually. You cannot doubt it.
Yeah,
I have full faith that you won't get untimely death.
Right.
And how do you know what's untimely?
Right.
Yes, that's true. I'm talking in terms of material perspective, like if someone dies at a young age. I got it. Thank you.
That could have already been extended, after you take the.
Well, he can extend it as long as he wants to, but it's when it's the time for you to die, you die. So what's an untimely death? Anybody have any idea?
Prabhu, if they commit suicide or if they get into an accident even before their time of death is predicted or whatever.
What was the first thing you said? The
Suicide.
accident. You said?
By suicide.
Suicide. Yeah, suicide for sure. Yeah.
So they can get ghostly bodies, so it prevents this.
I don't think you get a ghostly body if you just get in a car accident or something, but it's an untimely death. It
That's
could be
true.
an untimely death. We had one person who died when Prabhupada was here in a car accident, and he said it was untimely death. So it wasn't his time to die, but he did some stupid thing, I guess. Like, for instance, after that, Prabhupada says he doesn't want the devotees to drive at night. When I say at night, like overnight, when it should be sleeping, don't drive.
When you're tired.
Yeah. So that's.
And recently it happened to Niranjana Swami's disciples in Ukraine also.
Because they were tired?
Yeah, they were driving after a program late in the night.
Yeah.
It's some dangerous road. The road is dangerous too.
Well, Prabhupada says, from the cup to the lip, many a slip.
There's danger at every step.
Padam,
Yadi padam natesham. So it's already
So
expected.
you're going to be seeing these quotes all over the place now.
Watch where you step. Right at the door, going out.
On the steps. So Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha also expanded to 8 additional Vilas Murtis. Their names are Purushottama, Achyuta, Nrsimha, Janardhan, Hari, Krishna, Adhoksaja, and Upendra. Adhoksaja and Purushottama are the Vilas forms of Vasudeva. Similarly, Upendra and Achyuta are the vilas forms of Sankarshan. Nrsinga and Janardhan are the vilas forms of Pradyumna, and Hari and Krishna, the vilas forms of Aniruddha. This Krishna is different from the original Krishna. The 24 forms, the 4 original Vishnu forms, the 12 Vaikuntha forms, and the 8 Vilas Murtis mentioned above are known as Vilas manifestations of the Prabhava, 4-handed form, and they are named differently according to the position of the symbolic representations: mace, disc, lotus flower, and conch shell. Out of these 24 Vilas forms, some are Vaibhava forms, such as Pradyumna, Trivikram, Vamana, Hari, and Krishna, which have different features. Thus, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha are Prabhava Vilas forms, Prabhava Vilas forms of Krishna, and there are a total of 20 further variations. All of these have Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky and are situated in 8 different directions. Although each of them resides eternally in the spiritual sky, some of them nonetheless appear in the material world also. So look around. If you see somebody with 4 arms holding these symbols, and if of course you could figure out who they are, if you knew all the different forms and what symbols they have. And it does say that, maybe in here, a little further. You want to read some? In the spiritual sky.
In the spiritual sky, all the planets dominated by the Narayan feature are eternal. The topmost planet in the spiritual sky is called Krishna Loka,
Haribol.
which is divided into 3 portions: Gokula, Mathura, and Dwarka. In the Mathura portion, the form of Keshava is always situated. He is represented on this earthly planet in Mathura, India, where the Keshava Murti is worshipped. Similarly, there is a Purushottam form in Jagannath Puri in Orissa. In Anandaranya, there is a form of Vishnu. Can anyone tell me where Anandaranya is? Anyone know? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't want to say. I don't know.
There's a form of Vishnu. Is that in the south? Let's see.
I would think somebody here would know.
Mathura is more north, right? There's Keshava. Purushottam is Visa. Oh, then there's Mayapur. And in Mayapur, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, there is the form of Hari. That's why they always say Hari Bol. Many other forms are also situated in various places on the earth. Not only in this universe, but in all other universes as well. These forms of Krishna are distributed everywhere. It is indicated that this earth is divided into 7 islands, which are the 7 continents. And it is understood that on every island, there are similar forms. But at the present moment, these are found only in India. Although from the Vedic literature, we can understand that there are similar forms in other parts of the world, at present, there is no information of their location. That's interesting. Although from the Vedic literature, we can understand that there are similar forms in other parts of the world. At present, there is no information of their location.
Mataji, Anandaranya says Trivandrum of Kerala. It's in Kerala.
Kerala?
Yeah.
South.
So there's other forms that we don't know where they are. Connecticut, Long Island,
New York.
Canada.
No, I had read somewhere, Mataji, I don't know if this is authentic, that the Kaaba stone in Mecca or wherever the Muslims go on pilgrimage, that is like a Vishnu stone or something. It was originally or something like that. There's a black stone in Kaaba where the Muslims go for pilgrimage to Mecca. And they said that's the black stone is actually Shaligram Shila or something like that. I read it somewhere. I don't know.
Have you seen a picture of it? Can you see a picture of it anywhere?
They have like a I don't know how to explain it. They have like a white enclosure, and inside the Kaaba stone is there. And they say the stone itself is black.
Kaaba?
And that's like a Shaligram Shilas. I read it somewhere. I'm not sure if it's authentic or not. I don't even remember where I read it.
That's interesting. These forms of Krishna, you have something to say?
No, I'm just thinking someone has I can hear noises. If everyone can mute, I think it's Mahadana. You can put on mute. I don't know if it's you, but there's some noises. You can unmute when you have something to say.
Does anyone know why these forms of Krishna are distributed throughout the world, throughout the universes?
Anybody want to guess?
He does different pastimes in different universes.
And why does he do these different pastimes?
Because he wants to please his devotees by various pastimes.
Exactly. These forms of Krishna are distributed throughout the world and throughout the universes to give pleasure to the devotees.
Haribol.
It is not that devotees are born only in India.
Oh.
There are devotees in all parts of the world, but they have simply forgotten their identity. These forms incarnate not only to give pleasure to the devotees, but to reestablish devotional service and perform other activities which vitally concern the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some of these forms are incarnations mentioned in the scriptures, such as the Vishnu incarnations, Trivikram incarnation, Nrsimha incarnation, and Vamana incarnation.
In the Siddhartha Samhita, there is a description of the 24 forms of Vishnu, and these forms are named according to the position of the symbols in their four hands. When describing the position of objects in the hands of the Vishnu Murtis, one should begin with the lower right hand and then move to the upper right hand, to the upper left hand, and finally to the lower left hand. So we're going to go over this description of the different forms, and you start with the lower right hand, upper right hand, showing it over here, lower left hand and upper left hand.
No, I think, wasn't it upper left and then lower left?
Okay, we're having a fight already over this. Let's read it again. According to the symbols in their form. When describing the position of objects in the hands of the Vishnu Murtis. Mic is on. Oh, Sudevi Priya, now yours is on. Can you shut your mic? Sudevi Priya.
Yes, Prabhuji. What did you say?
If you can shut your mic. That was it. Okay, one should begin with the lower right hand, then move to the upper right hand, to the upper left hand, and then the lower left hand.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
No, you were all my witness. You
Okay,
said lower left.
okay,
and
is this
upper
being
left.
recorded? Because I gotta
It
do
is.
something.
It is.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
anybody listening anyway?
Nobody's listening. Okay.
You said lower left and upper left.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you
Mother
did,
Jiva,
Pyari.
I had read somewhere that the Paramatma in the heart is Janardhan, the way the Janardhan is that correct?
Well, does anybody know? Then
If Sudevi Priya says, we should agree because she's read a lot.
but I would have to say you're correct, as long as nobody
Okay.
can disprove me.
No, I read somewhere like in God Back to God, like some authentic Vaishnava
It's
literature. I
probably
don't remember
true.
where, but the Janardhan, the form of the heart in Paramatma, in the heart of everybody is Janardhan.
It sounds
So-
correct. Yeah, it must be.
Every Paramatma is the same. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why must it be? Janardhan?
Well, because in the Sri Upanishad, they have the Lord in the heart, and it's called Janardhan.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. You wanted to say something, Mahadana?
Madonna, if you're going to say anything on her,
Go ahead.
don't say
Go
it.
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that, Pyari, you were wrong.
Yeah, I know.
You were going to your left bottom instead of your left upper. That's the third shot.
Okay, that's
But he
it for
got the next
for
one.
you, Madonna.
Okay, I'm out of here. Bye.
You got the next one now.
Okay. So when describing the position of objects in the hands of the Vishnumurtis, one should begin with the lower right hand. That's all you have to know when you go around, up, and then move to the upper right hand, the upper left hand, and finally to the lower left hand. In this way, Vasudeva is represented by, we're starting with Vasudeva. Club. Where's his club?
It's the first one.
That's your left hand.
You're muted.
Good
You're
try.
right. I said the right hand, the wrong hand up.
Okay. So is anyone else following this besides Madonna? So Vasudeva is represented by the club. Conch, club is down. You can't see me, but I'll show you here. Club, okay, we gotta do it. I'll forget it. That's too much trouble. But we just know it starts with the lower right. Club, conch, disc, lotus flower. Okay? So Sankarshan is represented by club. So the first, they both have the club, they have the conch, but then instead of the disc, it's the lotus flower and then disc. Anyway, you can read all this. I'm confusing myself. But
Sankarshan?
you know where it starts from? Yeah, Sankarshan.
Sankarshan is represented by club, conch, shell, lotus flower, and disc. Similarly, Pradyumna is represented by disc, conch, shell, club, and lotus flower. Aniruddha is represented by disc, club, conch shell, and lotus flower. In the spiritual sky, the representations of Narayan are 20 in number and are described as follows. Sri Keshava, lotus, conch, shell, disc, and club. Narayan, conch, lotus, club, and disc. Sri Madhava, club, disc, conch, and lotus. Sri Govinda, disc, club, lotus, and conch. Vishnumurti, club, lotus, conch, and disc. Madhusudana, disc, conch, lotus, and club. Trivikram, lotus, club, disc, and conch. Sri Vamana, conch, disc, club, and lotus. Sridhar, lotus, disc, club, and conch. Rishikesh, club, disc, lotus, and conch. Padmanabha, conch, lotus, disc, and club. Damodar, lotus, disc, club, and conch. Purushottam, disc, lotus, conch, and club. Achyuta, club, lotus, disc, and conch. Shringa, disc, lotus, club, and conch. Janardan, now we should check the picture over there of Paramatma. Janardan, lotus disc conching club. Sri Hari, conch disc lotusing club. Sri Krishna, conch club lotus and disc. Adhoksaja, lotus club conch and disc. And Upendra, conch club disc and lotus. Can anyone tell me what Sri Madhavas are?
I would suggest, if you're going to go traveling to the Vaikuntha planets, to bring the teachings of Lord Chaitanya with you. Go to page 85, and then you'll figure out who you see there. Or you could try memorizing this. That would be that. I'm sure these kids can memorize all this. They're so smart. You should do a test of the different forms if they can see it and tell us who they are. And then they win a prize.
Actually, Mahadana gave us a picture of Paramatma that's hanging in the temple room here in the old temple right now. We haven't moved it there yet, of Super Soul. So I just want to go check if it's the Janardan as described here out of curiosity.
So we're going to get back. Stay tuned to find out if Paramatma is Janardan, or if the artist who painted it knew.
Can we just Google?
Yes,
it is. It is Janardan. It is Janardan, Paramatma. In the painting we have that Mahadana has given us.
She's donated to the temple.
Donated to the temple a long time ago, and it's been up on the wall. Anybody notice on our wall we have a painting of.
You remember the painting, Mahadana?
Yeah.
Does anyone else remember it who came here?
Yes, Prabhu, it's on the wall when you enter from here through this door on the left side.
Yes. And that's it, huh?
Notice this punch club.
Okay.
Nice.
According to the Hayash Shirsha Pancharatra, there are 16 forms, and these are also named according to the position of the disc and so on. The conclusion is that the supreme original personality of Godhead is Krishna. He is called Lila Purushottama, and he resides principally in Vrindavan as the son of Nanda. So I think you got to really pay attention to all this, because this is the conclusion.
Out of all that, you got to come to this conclusion.
The supreme original personality of Godhead, he is called what? I just read it.
Krishna.
No, I didn't read that.
Purushottama?
Yeah, close. Lila Purushottama. Very good. Krishna is called Lila Purushottama, and he resides principally where? You should be able to guess this.
Mathura?
That's close. Very close. Vrindavan.
A few miles down the road.
Vrindavan. Very close to Mathura.
But you could say the whole region is kind of Mathura, right?
Yeah, okay. She's gonna give you full credit. I'm not, and you know why I'm not?
Because you spoke the truth.
He resides principally in Vrindavan and is the son of who?
Nobody knows?
Narada? No.
Nanda.
Nanda.
Was that John?
Nanda. Oh, sorry.
Yes, that's what it said. It is also learned from the Hayash Shirsha Pancharatra that there are 9 forms protecting the 2 Puris. known as Mathurapuri and Dwarkapuri. These 9 forms are Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Narayan, Nrsinga, Harigriva, Varaha, and Brahma. These are different manifestations of the Prakash and Vilasa forms of Lord Krishna. Okay, you can read. I don't know if we should go. I'm going to read one more paragraph. Lord Chaitanya next informs Sanatana Goswami that there are different forms of Samsha as well, and these are divided into Sankarshan divisions and the Incarnation divisions. The Sankarshan division includes the 3 Purusha avatars, Karana Dakshay Vishnu, Kava Dakshay Vishnu, and Kashura Dakshay Vishnu. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows them, and they're called the Sankarshan division. And the other division comprises the Leela avatars, such as the Lord's incarnations as a fish and a tortoise. Might get. There are 6 kinds of incarnations. 1, the Purusha avatars. 2, the Leela avatars. 3, the Guna avatars. 4, the Manvantara avatars. 5, the Yuga avatars. And 6, the Shakyavesh avatars. Out of the 6 Vilas in manifestations of Krishna, there are 2 divisions based on his age, and these are called Balya and Paganda. As the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, in his original form, enjoys both of these childhood aspects, namely Balya and Paganda. And now for my last question. What are the 6 kinds of incarnations? You name 1, 2, many Asian? No, without looking in a book.
Leela?
Leela, I think that's 1. Yes, Leela. Leela avatars. Anybody else?
Shakti Avatar.
What?
Shakti Avatars.
Shaktivesh, yes. Shaktivesh avatars.
Purusha avatars.
Purusha avatars. You got 3. 3 more.
Yuga Avatar.
Guna, Yuga Avatar.
Guna Avatar, Manvantara Avatar.
Manvantara avatars. What else?
Guna Avatar.
Guna Avatar.
Okay, 1 more.
Yuga Avatar.
Yes, Yuga avatar.
Oh, I heard what you said, yoga.
No, Yuga.
Yuga avatars, right? You got them all. Very good. I'm very amazed. That's good. Okay, so any questions? We got like less than a minute left. Questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a quick question.
Yes.
When you mentioned Pradyumna and Aniruddha, are they the same as Krishna's like son and grandson, Pradyumna and Aniruddha?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
So I mean, why they have to make it so confusing? Why didn't they make a different name?
Well, there's a lot of Patels. Why do they do that?
I don't know.
Well, ask somebody from Gujarat. Well, I just got this from Patel. What Patel? In America, there's a lot of Smiths, a lot of last name Smith, I think, or Jones are very common. So Krishna, I don't know why, because Krishna is unlimited. He could give everybody a different name and he gives them the same name. Just like it says, there are different Krishnas. One is the Vishnu Krishna, and then there's, of course, the Krishna we know. There's also, besides Krishna, what was the other name? There was Damodar. Damodar is also another name for Krishna, but there's 2 Damodars. There's the Damodar being bound, Krishna being bound, and there's the Damodar, the Vishnu form. So I don't know why. So I can't answer your question.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you for thank you for asking a question that I can't really answer. Any other questions or comments?
Such detail. Where else are you going to find so much detail about the
Yeah, I know.
Lord and his kingdom?
Right. In the Bible, they don't know anything about it, anything beyond. You know, they have this conception of heaven. You know, you die, you go to heaven, or you go to hell. You know, that's the only things they know. Hell is usually burning, you know, hot fires, and heaven is just like such a beautiful place, and you just enjoy. It's not, and I mean, I would like to do some kind of survey, just asking Christians who are Christians, you know, what is heaven like? Find out what heaven is like, and then say, but and is God there? Do you have anything to do with God when you're there? You know, I know because I was a Catholic, I wasn't so religious, but my idea of heaven was just enjoy. It had nothing to do with God, serving God, trying to please God. That wouldn't be enjoyment. That's like work. You know, it's just like you can enjoy. Of course, they don't. That was my conception of God. If I had to serve Him, then I would think, why? You know, I got to go there to serve Him. That's not very good. Of course, the conception in Krishna consciousness is you serve Him, but you know, our serving Him is pleasing us. The more we can actually serve God, the more we're actually pleased because we're part and parcel of Him. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But that's the closest they come to the spiritual world, is understanding what heaven is. And it's a completely material thing. Completely material conception of the spiritual world. Because they do think it's a spiritual world. Like for us, when we speak of heaven, we know there is heavenly planets. You can enjoy material sense gratification. But their idea of heaven is eternal. Our idea of heaven is just it's temporary, but really for a long time, relatively speaking, you stay there. But it's just still temporary, so what's the use? Anyway, these are just some things you can understand about the spiritual world. And it's so nice. Even though we don't understand it all, it's so nice that it's given to us. And if we want to, we can understand more of what the spiritual world is like. Of course, for us, it's just like here, the conclusion, the original personality of Godhead is Krishna. And that's what we mainly think about. We think about going to that planet, Krishna Loka planet, where I can have a different relationship with Krishna eternally there. And those are the most enjoyable pastimes. So that's the most important part, but you can know about all these other things if you want to know. Okay. Last chance, comments or questions? Let's offer our respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Panchakalpa
Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Pyari Prabhu and her Grace Mother Jiva ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis. If your time permits, then we would request you to stay on the line and we can have Saturday night Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah Vishnupadaya कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यादि पाश्चात्तादेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्तादेशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Jai Gaur